world will never know what it's like to have a woman that's completely devoted to him. Not desperate for him because she has low self-esteem. I'm talking about a woman like Queen Charlotte from Bridgerton, and I think the reason why that show did so well is because we saw femininity and strength. We saw a woman who was a queen who was incredibly strong, and she didn't use that to criticize, belittle, degrade her man. We saw that when he struggled with mental illnesses and she found that out, that she lifted him up. She strategized, and she reminded him that he is that king and he belongs at that throne. And we're in this together. She was his strength, literally his strength. And when I think about a helper, a helpmate, they have the tools and the skills to come in someone's life and help them when they are weak. And what happens is when a woman today sees that her man is weak, she belittles and she degrades him for it instead of becoming his rescuer, instead of becoming his helper and applying her skills, her wisdom, her grace, her love, her femininity to help him rise to the occasion, to help him sit at that throne. I think someone who is actually powerful uses their power not to go be worshipped by other people, go seek to be worshipped because you're of all this value, but actually serves someone else. You know that submission is voluntary, right? It is voluntary. It's a very hard thing to do. That's why a lot of people, a lot of women specifically, don't want to do it. It's very...
Welcome to another reaction video with Broski here, Chloe Banger. If you're a regular on this channel, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. If you like my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Another interesting topic we are having today. So let's just watch this lady. Let's hear her out. It's gonna be a long one. She had a lot to say, so we're gonna give her the platform. Feeling it. Ololo. Let's do it.
hard. So it means that you're incredibly strong, that you're not using all of your wisdom, all of your skills, all of your abilities to be self-served, to be worshipped, but to actually wash someone else's feet. That's what Jesus did. He did not come here to be served, but to serve others. That's a lot of humility. And another thing about a queen is she chooses with submission to stand as his queen, not to be the king, not to take over his throne. And what's happening is too many women want to take over the throne. That's it. Just have dominion. I see that he's weak, so I want to take you off the throne and I'm going to sit there. And a lot of men, they have two options. They either marry the prostitute, which I'd say is the woman who gives up coochie so she can have a Birkin bag and be taken on dates all the time. It's very transactional. Or he marries a woman with the emotions of a toddler. So
right there. See, when she said she got me when she said, men, women with power actually want to take the throne, they belittle their men. It's a sad reality that we live in. You see, as a man today, if you want to pull up in a relationship, you got to pull up with those things sorted. And that's where we realize, that's where we find ourselves in a place where not all relationships have a solid foundations, because I went through my struggles by myself. What you are looking for is what you are saying is that you will never settle for anyone who's trying to build themselves. That's why a lot of men who went through hell and back and they say, now I'm looking for someone, they are the most untamed, undisciplined, especially when it comes to relationships. They don't give a fuck, bro. They'll do whatever, whenever, they'll do whoever as they please, bro. Like, because they went through hell and no one was there, bro. No one was there with him when he was going through all that. And that's what I feel like she's highlighting, is that no woman wants to build these days. Like, a lot of women don't want to build with a man. They want a man who has already built something. And guess what? If you come into my life and I'm already set, you're going to have to prove your worth. And if I will say I want to do something, you're not going to stop me. You're not going to even tell me what to do or how to move. And that's what a lot of women expect when they come into relationships, because at the end of the day, in a relationship, we have to listen to each other. We have to support each other, right? So if you are the type of hand to say, nah, I'm not going to build with anyone, I want a man who's already established, and you want to put him in a chain, like you take a chance, my sister. You will never ever like be able to pull that off, because at the end of the day, that man has been through the most without anyone by his side. Answara. He was belittled because of not even having enough at some point. Time to settle, but being in a relationship and you are a man and you don't have material, material determines the quality of a man these days. I don't know how or when did women get to that conclusion, but that's how the world is today. It's sad, but that's how the world is today. It's sad to be in this world, to be honest, because it leaves a lot of men in a position where they even say, like, a lot of us men say, as soon as if things go my way, because no one wants to build with me, even if I find someone that's loving, I'm gonna go loose, I'm gonna do whatever, because no one cared about me. No one cared about me. And this is the danger of all of this. As I usually tell women, that if you find a good nigga, don't think of, hey, when things get sorted, he's gonna leave me. Trust me, bro. Like, the man who built with you and you were there when he was down, bro, he's always gonna remember you. He's always gonna be by your side. Stop taking other people's fears and projecting them into your life, because that's not your reality at all. That's not your reality. You have a life, you have a story to tell. Do you? And a lot of women just go with that mindset of they will never set a nigga up, they will never support a broke nigga. And it's sad because once they say they wanna settle down, yo, and you find him and he's all set, that nigga is one of the broken pianos. You won't like the tune that's gonna play next.
She never grows up out of that, and he always treats her like a child, like she is one of his children. And so a lot of men are very lonely. They're incredibly lonely because they're so alone in this world where they do not have a woman that listens to all his flaws, all of his struggles, knows his past, knows ways he's been hurt, and processes that like a computer. Takes all the information, uploads it to the computer, the mind, the brain, and strategizes on how to help him. Instead, they have to keep their mouth shut. They can never share their weaknesses because you can't handle it, because you're emotionally immature. You're going to cry about it because you're going to get offended. You're going to feel criticized, or you're going to see his weaknesses and then think, oh, you're not going to be strong enough to handle me. When can they ever be weak? I think a wife that is a good thing, that the Bible talks about, is a very strong woman with incredible discernment, high self-esteem, not fake confidence where you need all this validation. No. That's why those women, they were dressed from head to toe, covered, because they don't need validation. That's not it. Duty over desire. They do not need to be desired. They not need all this validation. They don't need any of that. They're committed to their duty, which is the devotion to this man that he is going to be sitting at that throne. You're going to get there. You're going to sit here, and you're going to do it well. And if you are struggling, no one's going to know your struggles. I will never, ever, ever talk bad about my husband on the internet. I would never.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, that's the problem with, and I feel like in the black community in general, we see that a lot, that our women will go out of their length, like out of their way, to belittle the black man. I even, like, when I was doing like my research, going into these rabbit holes looking for new conversation, I remember seeing a female, and she's Caucasian, she's white, and she was saying that, why do black women go so far to belittle their men? Like, and that really like shocked me. If a white woman can see that, okay, a lot of black women go out of their way, not all men are perfect, but why do you all go out of your way to actually belittle your men like this? Y'all go on the internet, y'all call them this, da 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 da. To hear a female speak like her, there's a feminist somewhere out there who's listening to her. She's tossing and turning, bro. She's feeling hot. She's born. She's feeling, because now this is the same situation that happened with Nandi. That she's just speaking the truth. That There's a reason why these monsters are out here. They exist. See, monsters are not born. Most monsters are made, bro. We are all born with love in us. We are all born with compassion. But see, when you get kicked over so many times throughout your life, you got cheated on because you didn't have 500. You didn't get love because you couldn't pull off all the best move. You got rejected because you don't drive a car. Like, what type of bullshit is that, bro? Also, all these monsters that we live in, these monsters were made, bro. They were made by the circumstances, the events, the trauma they've experienced. You know, you love someone so much and they cheated on you because you didn't have set things where they didn't also have them. That's the problem there. You go through all of this with someone who doesn't even have those things, and you're like, oh, but what happened? I thought we had a real thing. We had love. That's why it takes only one devastating breakup or two for a man to just flip. And trust me, Joe, for that guy to find peace, that nigga will never even settle. I feel like most men will find peace when they are gallivanting, and now it's affecting everyone around him because now to find that even the woman that wanted to give him a chance, the good one, that guy can't even see it. The guy can't even see it. That's why it's important for gents to always heal, bro. Like, you gotta heal, bro, because at the end of the day, it's just gonna affect you negatively. You gotta heal, bro.
Share his weaknesses on the internet. That's crazy. That's insane. Some women get up on here and share whatever is going on with their man. Like it's a diary. How is he going to be praised at the city gates when the enemy knows his weaknesses? They know how to attack him. You know what I'm saying? With Queen Charlotte, I really loved that show because she could see when he was splitting, and she would hold his hand and she'd be like, we got this. We're together. You're okay. An incredibly submissive woman who doesn't try to take over her man's throne, compete with her man, any of that. He praises her. It's biblical. It's in scripture, and it comes to fruition. Because he knows that is his backbone. He literally cannot be in the position that he is in without her. She doesn't mother him. She doesn't nag him. In the argument scene where she says, "No, George, I will not leave." Right? It's an incredibly powerful scene because she doesn't degrade him. She doesn't belittle him. She just says, "I do not believe you." As he's yelling at her, she doesn't crumble into her emotions and feels rejected. No, she says, "I think that you're trying to you're believing, you're coming into agreement with the devil, with the enemy, the lies in your head. That I don't want, that you are not deserving of me, or that you are just this weak man. No, we will be strong together." That woman is his backbone. She's completely devoted to him, for better or for worse. And unfortunately, a lot of men, like in that show with George, right? He never wanted her to see his weaknesses because he thought, if she sees me weak, she will not want me. So I think a wife, that's a good thing. He is able to show his weakest side, his most vulnerable side. I mean, crying, boo-hoo crying, okay? And sharing how he's even scared in this moment. And she does not look at him as weak, but instead edifies him and tells him that you are strong. We got this. You're not alone. You're not carrying this alone. We're carrying it together.
Just preach, my sister. Preach. Preach. I like what you're saying. A lot of men are afraid to show weakness. Like, a lot of men are afraid to actually show that they are vulnerable. Reasoning being, they're afraid to be shamed. You are half a man. You're not man enough. Why are you crying? Even the older men would actually come out to say, if your woman sees you break down or crying, then she knows your weaknesses. She could never take you serious. Like, you're afraid to even be vulnerable because of the fear of your partner seeing you in the most weakest. You always have to be a baller. You always have to be strong, the man. And now it gets to a point where you feel broken, you feel cornered. That's why you wanna exclude yourself whenever you get to a point and you say, I can't be with you. And today's society normalize that so much that women say no. If he has struggles, if he's broke, if he's all of this, Mina, I'm good. Mina, I'm good. I don't know what she's referring to, but it sounds insightful, and I wish a lot of women could see this story that she's referencing, because it's very powerful. It shows that with love, with true love, comes true submission. Obsession with power, especially when you are a female, it creates instability where you kind of take away from what the man represents. The man no longer becomes free around you because you are belittling him at every other turn. Very deep stuff. I like how she speaks.
And a lot of men have never experienced that in their life. Women do. And the reason why I'm speaking on this, I could share anything to my husband. I could cry, I could boohoo cry to my husband about my family upbringing, whatever. And he always is going to use that. He's going to take that information and he's going to apply it to himself to make sure that he doesn't put me in a position to ever feel that way. He doesn't criticize, he doesn't shame me, he doesn't belittle me, he doesn't do any of that. He uploads it to his computer, his brain, and make sure he adjusts in his life to make sure I'm okay and that I grow from that and I get out of that. So a lot of men know how to nurture a woman to be the best version of herself. A lot of men know how to do this. There's a lot of good men. I don't care what you say. If you're just sleeping around with men in hookup culture, of course you don't experience this. There's a lot of good men that know how to uplift their woman. There's not a lot of women that know how to uplift their man, and this is why in the Bible it says that a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. You do not read in scripture that it says that a woman that finds a husband finds a good thing. That lets you know that there's plenty of good men.
Some beautiful stuff. That's beautiful. There aren't a lot of women who know how to uplift men, which is so true. We've seen it, we see it, we see, and it's a thing where women be like, tell us. But for a man, it comes natural for them to be there for you. It comes natural. No one told the man. I'm sorry, no one told the man. But you want me to tell you how to uplift me when I don't even know how to uplift myself at that given moment. I'm stuck. I'm going through emotions. You're telling me you didn't say anything. Figure it out. Like how I figured it out when you were down. How I figured it out when you needed someone to talk to. Antara, it's not even rocket science. I love how she speaks. I don't know this whatever Bridgerton she's talking about. But I feel like a lot of women should be. I don't know if it's a movie or a series. I feel like a lot of women should actually check it out because it lays a good foundation, and a lot of women lack a good foundation. And so they should stop pointing at men. We should stop pointing at women. We should start healing. I feel like both sides need to start healing, bro. There's a lot of healing and unlearning to do so that we can become a better, more united society. So broski, until the next video. Ololo.